Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Valkyrie light mech. So, the Valkyrie was originally planned for use by the Star League Defense Force, but production of the battle mech did not begin until 2787 after the fall of the Star League and the start of the First Succession War. This was mainly due to legal entanglement with the Harvard Company Incorporated, who claimed the Valkyrie QA was a nearly wholesale copy of the Wasp 100A Wasp Lamb. Because of this odd twist of fate, and because of the only factory to produce the Valkyrie was located on New Avalon, the only nation to possess a large number of the Valkyries was the Federated Suns. During the Succession Wars, the Valkyrie became the standard light mech of the armed forces of the Federated Suns, often replacing the lighter Wasp and Stinger mechs in many units and giving an experienced mech warriors to pilot. While not as fast as either design, the Valkyrie has an almost comparable jump distance, heavier armor, and long range weaponry, capable of maintaining a high rate of fire while jumping as often as it liked. The Valkyrie gained a reputation for tenacity, and once on the attack, it stays with you until either you drop or it does. Korean Enterprises was able to maintain a steady production rate of 130 Valkyries per year during the Succession Wars, reaching almost 200 per year during the desperation of the First Succession War. With this location in the heart of the Davian realm, that rate was rarely under threat, although the possibility of the automated factories breaking down for good remained a growing concern during the technological decline of the Third Succession War. Every regiment and nearly every battalion had at least one Valkyrie mech under its command, with some recon companies equipped with entire lances of Valkyries. The Davians were also willing to sell the mech to mercenary outfits contracted to serve them, while relatively few found their way into the hands of other realms through battlefield salvage. Valkyrie production made a major expansion around this time as Katrina Steiner helped Defiance Industries strike a licensing deal with Koyan, uh, a deal which would persist at least until the end of the Jihad. One major setback in the Valkyrie production did occur during the Fourth Succession War when the Draconis Combine captured Marduk, site of the Norse Battle Mech Works and producers of the mechs Norse Industries 3S jump jets. Production fell behind for the next few years as Korean tried several other jump jet models without success until finally settling on Hilco Interplanetary's Hildco Model 12 line of jump jets. Following the formation of the Federated Sons or Federated Commonwealth, it um, its nascent military force was faced with a problem of combining two entirely separate militaries into one unified whole. Part of the solution was commonality of equipment, and the Valkyrie was chosen to be the standard light mech of the AFFC following the discovery of the Helm Memory Core. The new Avalon Institute of Science was able to restore the Valkyrie industrial complex to its full Star League era production rate, while Corian was able to utilize lost tech components to construct the new Valkyrie QD model starting in 3049. The FedCom Civil War took a particularly heavy toll on the light mechs, and the Commonwealth was in desperate need of replacements. Unfortunately, Valkyrie production had halted when the St. Ives Compact had conquered the Capellian Confederation. The Hilco was no longer willing to supply Korean with jump jets. At the same time, the company was in negotiations with Viacor Industries about reviving the Valkyrie design with two new variants. The Q QD1 and QD3. The Viacor had just happened to have the solution to their problems. The company had secretly negotiated to build Hilco jump jets under the Viacor name and was willing to sell these components to Corian in exchange for the right to build both variants. Corian agreed, and Valkyrie production restarted on New Avalon and Demeter, with new units reaching Davian forces in July of 3067. Weapons and equipment. The Valkyrie has its primary armament in a Devastator Series 07 LRM-10 launcher with 1 ton of reloads mounted in the left torso. While an unusual weapon on a light mech and carrying only enough missiles for about 2 minutes of continuous fire, it gives the Valkyrie a long reach and respectable damage, especially against other light mech hunters. As a backup weapon, the Valkyrie carries a Sutel 9 medium laser in its right arm. This mix of long and short range weapons allows the Valkyrie to soften up other mechs for long range, then move in for the kill. 11 single heat sinks allowed the Valkyrie to fire its weapons and use its 5 jump jets, 2 in each of the legs and a 5th in the rear torso, to jump up to 150 meters at a time without worrying about the heat buildup. It also carries 6 tons of armor to absorb a decent amount of punishment while only boasting a cruising speed of 54 kilometers an hour. It is capable of outmaneuvering and, when working as a team, taking down heavier opponents. Now, the different variants we have, and we do have quite a few variants here. We have the QD. The QD Valkyrie is a major overhaul of the design, debuting in 3049. The chassis has been re-engineered to use Corian Model 101AA endo steel construction, and the armor has been upgraded to ferrofibrous with case. This allows the variant to update the laser to a Sutel Precision Line medium pulse laser and add an Artemis 4 fire control system to the LRM-10. We have the QD1, which is another major overhaul for the Valkyrie, developed in partnership with Viacor Industries and debuting in 3067. Powered by an Omni 150XL engine and built using the Corian Model 101AA endo steel chassis, the Q1D is protected by 6 tons of Starguard 3 armor and carries 10 double heat sinks. It is propelled through the air by 5 Viacor Thrustmaster Model L jump jets and carries a Defiance Model 11 ER medium laser in the right arm and a Valiant Airblist LRM-15, if I can only speak here today, with 2 tons of reloads in the left torso. The LRM launcher is mated with an Artemis 4 fire control system. While a targeting computer is linked to the laser, the variant still carries the Lynx Sure communication suite, but replaces the older targeting tracking system with a Sync Tracker 40TC. Finally, a full head ejection system protects the pilots. All right, getting down to QD2. In this Blakist surge or sieges of New Avalon during the Jihad, followed by NAIS refit of the longbow, Corian Enterprises retooled the QD1 production line in 3072 to produce this version, stripping out the LRM-15, its Artemis 4, and missiles to fit a pair of Mydron Snipe Hunter LAC 2s. We have 2 ammo bins, allowing Davian mech warriors to utilize any kind of ammo on hand, while the Defiance 11 ER medium laser and targeting computer of the QD1 were retained, making this model a highly accurate mech able to provide direct fire support to quickly shred enemy light mechs. The QD3. This is an upgrade to the QD variant introduced in 3069 as part of the Viacor deal. While it retains most aspects of the QD1, the QD3 is instead powered by a GM210 engine for a top speed of 119 kilometers an hour, sports ferrofibrous armor, and carries two medium lasers and a Holly 5 LRM launcher. The QD4, this 3085 variant, is armed with an MML 7 and a medium laser, carries light ferrofibrous armor, and uses double heat sinks, improved jump jets, maximize battlefield mobility, while a full head ejection system protects Davian mech warriors who pilot this variant. The QD5. This failed 3101 variant based on the QD4 replaced the improved jump jets with standard jump jets and added an ATM 3 launcher, limited mobility and survivability combined with an excessive ATM ammunition logistics contract with Clan Diamond Shark that left customers without ammunition, led to the abandonment of this project. We have the QD6. This variant keeps the 85 kilometers an hour top speed of the traditional Valkyrie using the XL engine and XL gyro to free up weight. The right arm mounts an medium laser, and a single extended LRM 10 with 2 tons of ammunition provides long range firepower. The mech is protected by ferrofibrous armor, and the ammunition is protected by case. The QD8, this version of the Valkyrie was introduced during the Dark Age. It also has the full head ejection system, but like the QS5, it uses an endosteel chassis and small cockpit. Carrying a light PPC and a single extended LRM 10 missile launcher system, it creates a mech that excels at extremely long range combat. We have the QDD, this Dark Age extension of the QD model. It uses a light engine to reach a top speed of 96 kilometers an hour. Like the QD, it uses the ferrofibrous armor, but uses an XL gyro instead of the endosteel to save weight. In place of the medium pulse laser, it uses an medium laser, but the LRM-10 keeps the Artemis 4 fire control system. The QF. This model of the Valkyrie was the only common variant of the mech during the Succession Wars. First fielded in 2967, it trades in the medium laser for a flamer, which allows the mech to work in an incendiary role and also acts as an excellent deterrent to infantry attacks. The QS5. This variant of the Valkyrie, introduced in 3070, uses a small cockpit and endosteel chassis to save weight. This weight savings allows for a highly flexible MML9 launcher linked to an Artemis 4 system. For increased missile accuracy, for close combat, the QS5 has a medium laser like the rest of the QD series. It uses the full head ejection system. Getting down to the QT, this variant was developed in 3081 by the Taurian Concordant during the Jihad. It carries a Blackenberg light PPC and a Guided Technologies second generation Streak SRM6. An XL engine increases the top speed to a 111 kilometer an hour, while 10 double heat sinks keep the mech nice and cool. The QW5. Built for the Word of Blake starting in 3072, this Valkyrie variant carries an Artemis 4 enhanced medium missile launcher 7 and medium laser. The mech has a light fusion engine, endosteel structure, and is protected by light ferrofibrous armor. The pilot benefits from a full head ejection system, and for coordinating with friendly units, it also carries an improved C3 computer. Finally, down to the Valkyrie C, developed by Clan Wolf after they took Stuart in 3138. This mixed tech variant is used by um, Saloma troops. It carries an Innersphere XL engine, XL gyro, and improved jump jets, which allows the Valkyrie C to move quickly and cover 240 meters at a time. Armament is a Clan built medium pulse laser and a Clan LRM 10 with 2 tons of ammunition. Clan Case 2 protects the ammunition, and Clan Ferrofiber's armor protects the rest of the mech. The quirks that we have with this mech is it's easy to maintain and it has improved communications. We do have a series of pictures here, starting off with the picture that we have for 3025, done by Luce. Gives us the original iconic look to it. And yes, the body looks very similar to that of the Stinger or Wasp, with the head that of a Phoenix Hawk. Going on with that, we have the QA version, which was drawn by Anthony Scroggins. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Let's see, we have a 3050 view of it, which was drawn by Dana Kurtzton, which has very similar lines to that of what Luce had given us originally. This is from Project Phoenix, where they took the 3025 manual and they had to essentially design everything because of the lawsuit with Harmony Gold. This one being drawn by Chris Lewis. And then we have another variant. This is the QD3, again by Chris Lewis. Let's see, getting on here, the QD2. And this one is done by Matt Plog, showing kind of the SRM4 off to the side here, or SRM6, I'm sorry. And then we have another one here, I believe, from Matt Plog as well, kind of a top-down view. And as we get into the Justin Allard Battletech Legends, this one is missing the artist credits, but nicely done. We get to see how everything's changed over time. The head's got a little bit different sculpt to it. The antenna is done differently, in part, yes, because it's being manufactured by different groups. We don't have these long whip antennas on the end here. This one being done by Doug Schuler. But on the other hand, you can also write this off just simply saying because it's been produced by different companies and they have different ideas on how they want it to look. Now, the mech that we have here is a miniature that we had gotten in one of the Battletech starting games. And then last but not least, it's a different Valkyrie miniature here. I don't know what box set that this had come out of. So just kind of keeping it, being honest. All right. Now, with that being said, let's get into our D6 stats and see where I have come up with our mech today. All right. So looking at what we have here today. So the Valkyrie being at Walker scale, like everything else for the most part that we have done, we do have the crew of 1. This comes in at 30 tons. We have cargo capacity of 25 kilograms. The price that is listed for this is 2,205,320 C-Bells. Of course, we have a ground altitude, has a maneuverability of 3D plus 2. Going by our new kind of creation of how we're doing this, we'll see how this works out. I'm hoping that this works. When we were looking at our Urban Mech, and that was a 2D plus 2. I'm starting off with the 3D. We drop a plus 1 because of the weight as we're getting heavier. But the fact that it does have this faster movement here of the 86.4 kilometers an hour, it does give us that extra 1D for maneuverability. So we have pluses and minuses here. All right. Again, our movement speed and taking our flank movement is 86.4 kilometers an hour. We can jump out to about 150 meters per jump. We have a body strength of 3D and a armor point of 96, the same that we had with the Urban Mech. We have an LRM-10 with a fire control of 2D, and if we're treating this just firing all 10 missiles, it's 11D for our damage. We do have 12 reloads on our missile launcher, or rocket launcher, or long range missile launcher. Yes. All right. If my mind could only just stay going here as well as I'm hoping. All right. And to finish it off, we do have our medium laser, which is on a turret. Now, one of the things I am kind of messing up here because the LRM-10 is in the front. The medium laser is on a turret, but I should really just say put that in our right arm. All right. So we just kind of go with it from there. And of course, we have our 2D for our fire control and 5D for damage. So not a bad mech, especially the fact that we're getting into heavier mechs as we keep going on here. And, it gives us a little bit more firepower, a longer range, which is what this was really cited for. Now, with that being said, hopefully we don't turn a corner and see this thing staring us down and making some mincemeat out of us. The only saving grace is this is at Walker scale, so trying to hit us at personnel scale does get to be a little bit more difficult, but with a very experienced mech warrior in that cockpit, it's pretty easy to do. With that being said, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's always wonderful having you here. Hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.